Good morning, welcome back to Roy's the Boy. Now on this one for you today, I have got a Sovereign plastic deck lawnmower which I bought from a local fella around here. I bought two lawnmowers off him. It didn't have any grass boxes with either of them. I've managed to fix one of them which I had the grass box for, and then a few days later I went to an auction and I bought four lawnmowers from this auction, and one of the mowers which I picked up for £5, I was going to fix it, but there's a few faults on the wheels and other things which are all broken. But the good thing is about it, the grass box fixed the Sovereign, which is really good. But the Sovereign plastic deck one, it's got the wrong size engine on it. It's got a Quantum 5 horsepower engine on it, which someone else has put on it, and the pull cord ain't really working too good. And it's got the blade for it, to me, I would say comes from a Hater or a Atco Admiral 16. So let's go and have a look at it and see what we're going to do with it. Right, so as you can see, this engine here, it's even got an electric start on it. With a starter motor on this. This is not the right engine for it. It's way too big. As you can see, the pull, something wrong, I think wrong with the spring on it. I don't know if this engine works because I haven't been able to do with it. But as you can see on the other one, the grass box there, it does fit on there, which is good. So that's a good start. If I can get this engine running, will I keep this on here? No, I won't, because it's way too heavy, because it's only a lightweight plastic deck and I don't think it's going to do it too good. I know the other engine on this one, I have had it running through the spark plug where I put some fuel into it and it fired. I haven't tried it with any fuel actually in the tank because I don't know if there's any problems with the carburetor. So what I'm going to do first of all then is I'm going to put some fuel into there and we'll see if this runs, and then I might change that engine and swap them over with this one, because it should be a straight swap. Even with the handlebars, with the dead man's handle on it, I might just put everything across to there. Right, I've put some fuel in. It says give it about 10 pumps on this one, so we'll give it a go. It's got compression. Right, as you see, that's not firing. So what I'm going to do first of all then is, before I take the engine off, I'll take the carburetor off, I'll give it a clean. I'm not going to do it on video because you've seen them all before, and then I'll come back and see if it runs. Right, I've had to do a few things. I had to clean the flywheel up, and then the coil blew. I had to put a different coil on it. Let's see if it just runs now. Right, I spent some time on the SV engine, and I left it running for 20 minutes, and it really didn't sound too good in the end. It's been sitting outside for a long while. It's still spluttering. I've tried changing different things, and I'm not happy with it. So I'm not going to use that engine. So what I want to do now is I want to take this recoil off. Get this going and just see if I can actually use this. I don't really want to use this engine because, well, that one's got the wrong bolt in it, so is that one. Right, let me get someone's put some different bolts on it. I'll tell you, I think this is really a budge job on this one. So I'll get all this fuel tank off and take the recoil off, and I'll come back and I'll show you we'll see what's wrong with it. Right, so we're taking it off. Well, it seems to me there just isn't enough spring on it. maybe this is going to be a simple job of. Now, I'm just cutting this spring up, cutting this rope off just inside there. If I pull that through to there, just cut that bit off, and then see, we'll wind that up and see if this works. Right, so I think this is just going to be a simple job of literally just winding it up, unless the spring is slipping under pressure, which it is. If you hear that, as soon as it gets a bit of pressure on it, the spring's no good on it. Now, as with these ones, these are fixed ones, so you can't even take these off to repair them. You have to replace the whole thing, and that is not going to be any good really. But I think I might have one inside there. Let's see if it fits it. Here's one that I actually sprayed up ready for an Atco job, which I did, but then I realised it didn't fit. So I've had this in the back of the workshop here for a little while. It's all been sprayed up ready to go, and it's exactly the same. So let's fit it on. Let's see if this mower works. I thought whilst I was here, I'll have a look at this. I mean, that is absolutely soaked with oil, so that means that the gun jets inside there, that carburetor is going to be absolutely clogged up with stuff. So I'll take that off and clean that up when we come back. Right, all back together. I've only got to put some fuel in, and we'll take it outside and we'll see if this one runs. Right, so one thing I've noticed on this as well, there was a big puddle of fuel under here, and the reason is it's because of that nut there. When I took that off, it wouldn't, well, when I wanted to take that off, it wouldn't come off. So if I take that off, it's just turning. So that's not holding any pressure against there, and so any fuel that's coming out is leaking down the side at the back of this. So that carburetor's had it on that one, unless I can re-tap it and put another slightly bigger bolt on it. That's an 8mm, so I don't know if I can get a 9mm or something different to re-tap it with and do that, or it'd be just cheap enough to go and get. I think I can get a carburetor for it. I think the last one I got for was £4.95 for one of these Quantums. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I am decided now, once again, change of plan again, is me Briggs and Stratton engines. I've got the 35 Classics. They're not fitting on there properly, they're not going deep enough, and I'm going to stick the SV engine off the other one and done with it and sort that out. So let's strip this off. When I've got it off, I'll come back and I'll give it a good clean up. Right, so the engine's off. Someone's really bodged this one up. Look what they've done here. Look, they've cut the deck to fit that engine on, and that's what I said. It had the wrong size engine on it, and it was only held in together by 10mm stud bolts, or just studs, and that was it. Really bodged it up. So I'm going to take the engine off the grey one now and give that a good old clean up, and then we'll stick it on here. Right, so what I've done first is I've taken this top handlebar off, and that will fit straight onto the other one, because it's got the dead man's handle and it's got the cable fitted on it, and it will go straight on. Right, so I've just emptied the fuel out of the tank there. So what I'm going to do is, because it is in sort of dire straits really, what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip all the top plastics off, and I'm going to give the complete engine a clean round the front and the back. Right, so there we have it. I've took the exhaust off. I've gave it a complete respray. Even the guards, because they looked a bit dirty, they were looking rusty. So I just give those a little spray on, put it all back together. So let's go and let's get this other deck on, and let's get this engine put back on it. Right, so here in the background you can see that the engine's all done. It's put onto the deck now. Now I've got all these other bits to clean. I've got all these, the recoil cover, tank, air filter. It all needs a good clean. What I will do is I will use some of this, which Martin at Retro Restore put me onto. It's really good stuff. I've used it a couple of times. It really brings the plastic up really nice. And then this is the blade that come with the grey plastic one, which I took the engine off. So what I am going to do is, I don't normally do it anymore, but on this one it does need a, I take it back to as much metal as I can on this, and give it a good sharpen, and then I will respray it black, and I'm sure Pate's Performance will be happy with that. Just thought I'd let you know, yesterday I got this little new vice here, swivel one, which is very good. So now I can actually put my blades inside here, and then I will clean all this up. Once it's all done, I'll give it a spray back, and I'll show you what it's like when it's done. Right, well, that's came up really nice sharp cut on both sides. It's been balanced as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll just give it a coat of that, which is direct to rust primer, and then just give it another coat of satin black, and then that will done. I will do that, and then I'll show you when it's done. Alright, so as you can see, I gave the deck a coating of that Pledge Revive It, and it really has come up look really nice. And if I just pan over to this way slightly, I also did the plastics, as I said. I've left them overnight, and they've come up really clean. Even the fuel tank, just to make it look good, really. So let's get these fitted on, and then I will start doing the wheels. Right, okay, so these wheels are done. What I did, once again I gave the wheels a little bit spray of satin paint, but on the wheel caps, all I did is I gave them a wash and just give a little coating of that Pledge Revive It, and they've come up really clean. Same as the rear one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on, and then we'll come back. Well, there you are with the wheels back on it. I think that looks 100 times a lot better than what it did before from the previous one. So what I need to do now is I need to stick the handle on it, just so I can get this dead man's handle back in properly before I start putting all the fuel tank on and the recoil cover. So I'll go and get that, and we'll put it on. So the handlebar's on, and so all I've got to do now is I just need to put this cable on here. That just pushes onto there, and then you just pull this back. Make sure that clips, and then we'll push the handle, and it opens the brake, and it releases the contacts for the engine to turn on and off. So the fuel tank's on and the exhaust cover's on. I did that off because it's a bit time consuming. So what we do first is we'll stick this pipe through this little gap there, and we'll put this back on ready, and then we'll get the carburetor and we'll stick that back on after. This just sits into there, and then we'll put this back on there, push that on, and we're just getting that up ready. It doesn't want to go into there now, is it? Not going in. Oh, there you are. Right. And the two. Before I do that, let's get this on, because that is a bit of a pain trying to get that on afterwards. Let's get a pair of pliers for that. It always happens when you ain't got your tools ready. There we go. And then we'll put this back into there. Get these 2 bolts ready. Cool. Bit of a tight fit, this one. Sorry about that, it just hit the camera. There we go. Get the blower pipe on. I'll just get a little bit onto that. That's it. Ready, and then we get the small one as well. We'll get that on first. And that should be nice and free, and that's it. I'll get the I forgot what it is now. Air filter, that's it. Get the air filter on, and then we'll put the cover on as well. I'll stick some fuel in it, and then we'll come back, we'll take it outside and see if she goes. One there's simple little mistake I forgot, isn't it? Nearly forgot to put the main thing on, which is the recoil cover. Now on this one it didn't have that little plastic flap on this engine, so I'm not going to put the recoil, the cover on top of this, not until I know the engine's running alright. I know it was working on the other machine before I swapped it over, but we need to make sure. I've put the oil in, and I'll just stick some fuel in, and then we'll take it outside. Well, there you have it on this one. As you can see, I've put the plastic recoil cover back on, and once again I used that Revive It stuff, and it's really come up nice. So that was a really good, once again, tip from Martin Retro Restore for that Revive It. It is absolutely brilliant stuff, and even the deck, the plastic decks, it works really good on it. I've also found a little handle there cover, so I can put the recoil up there out of the way instead of it trying to slide in there. And now I shall stick this one up, and I don't think this one's going to stay there very long, I don't think. So anyway, that's all there is on this one. So thanks. If you like this one, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button and that grey notification bell there, and then you will be told when I'm actually doing another video. So that's all there is from this one. Until next time, cheerio.